I mean, no one expected a V-shaped recovery so quickly. Obviously, it's going to be a slow, steady putting in of the foundation and then maybe a little bit of a glide scope upwards. But again, no V-shaped recovery. And it was, all the numbers pretty much were better than expected, as you can see. We got the fastest pace of GDP growth in 6 quarters, actually, in the fourth quarter at 5.4%. The estimate was 5%. That puts the full year growth right bang in line with what Xi Jinping said it was going to be at 5%. Go figure. We were expecting 4.9%. Retail sales also better than expected at 3.7%. And that is a crucial number because, again, consumer confidence is weak. Consumer spending has been relatively weak. And you can pretty much chalk this gain in GDP and the better than expected results up to the stimulus that we got in late September, but also on the back of exports. There was a better than expected export gain in December. Again, a little bit of that is due to front loading of orders from the United States ahead of any proposed and threatened Trump tariffs. But again, the heavy lifting still has to come from the Chinese side, essentially in, outlining what kind of stimulus will come from the National People's Congress in March. And property, I might add, property, there's no panacea for the property woes in China, but the property numbers were better than expected and showing signs of stability. New home prices were down just 0.8%. 19th straight month of declines, but almost flat. Residential property sales year to date were also down just 17%. That was the best set of numbers in 2024. So maybe there's a little bit of a floor coming in on the property.
Well, suffice to say, a challenging environment for China. We're talking about the longest stretch of deflationary pressures since the Mao era. We're talking 1960s. And we've been waiting for the big bang stimulus, that QE. That is still not happening.
No, but we're expecting some sort of stimulus package from the National People's Congress coming up, the Lianghui, in the first part of March. I believe it starts around March 5th. Runs for a week or 2 weeks. We don't know yet. But again, the Central Economic Work Conference that was held in December behind closed doors laid out the plans for potential stimulus. I think the Chinese authorities are simply waiting to see what type of day one impact the Trump administration will have on the tariffs and the export front and what kind of fiscal stimulus is actually needed. And that could be rolled out in March, as I said. But one number that I also want to point out that will probably be a focus of the National People's Congress is the demographics. The population essentially, the births rising slightly to 9.54 million in 2024, but still it's the second lowest total of new births since 1949 and the third year in a row that we've seen the population in China decline. And that's going to pose a demographic issue going forward for the Chinese workforce.